So thanks, Joy. We're here at Lutron. We're gonna basically experience the design center for the first time, look at some of the new products that are only available through Lutron's luxury line, including Ketra. We're gonna look at some of the Homeworks Palladium, Elise keypads, and we're gonna look at the Motorized shades. Anything else that you guys have surprised for us here?
There's drapery tracks. We're just excited to show you guys all the different experiences that you and your clients can have in this space. It's really geared towards making it bespoke and unique based on what your clients are looking for.
Yeah, we're excited. Let's go check it out.
Welcome to our new home.
Oh, this is beautiful, amazing.
We're really excited to showcase all of our new products. We have Ketra D2 in this new space. You'll have a chance to see a lot of our different drapery and window solutions, and Mindy can show us all the rest.
With that, I'm going to close off all of the natural light that's flowing into the space with my southwest facing windows. You notice the shades coming down, you'll notice the space getting more intimate. The very first source of light that humans created, and that's firelight. And with firelight, you do want to stand in there and you want to warm your hands. You almost want to go in and toast a marshmallow. Humans have sought refuge by the fire. We've sought light. We've sought our food sources, cooking under firelight. And then we brought in electric light. The very first source of electric light, and I'm going to invite you guys for a walk, was incandescent lighting. And that's a heat source light, just like firelight, and it draws us in. And all that light is a tungsten filament sitting inside a bulb, and that filament is burning just like firelight. And that gives us that beautiful warm glow that we've always sought with firelight. And when this light source came on the market, what we could do with it was have it on at full bright or off. There was no variation in between until Lutron came on the scene in the 1960s and brought the very first incandescent solid-state dimmer onto the market. And with this dimmer, it gave us the ability to create different moods and different variations of scenes in the space that we weren't able to do before. Because Lutron believed then, as we do now, that lighting is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle to live by, right? And our tagline then, and we're trying to bring it back, is lighting to live by. We want you to, as a consumer, make a lifestyle choice. Choose to create a well-lit space. And there's different ways that we can create the well-lit space through these more modern, more streamlined dimmers. And then we brought in the availability to create lighting in different zones in this panel, and then full conference spaces, full zone and scene control through that graphic eye that you see there.
I still see some of those graphic eyes 20, 25 years later.
Yeah, they still very much exist in a lot of conference spaces and a lot of spaces that we've designed many, many years ago. So what we want to do is intentionally create layers of light and create some drama and intentionality in that lighting. So on the bookcase there, you'll see some backlighting, accent lighting to highlight the art that's on there. On the dining table here, you'll see that it's drawing you in. All of this light is pooling on my table and it's drawing you into the space. It's creating depth in this space, and it's creating space that people want to gather in.
So one of the things about autonomous homes, meaning it doesn't need your program, or it doesn't need you to press a button or activate it, is the ability to actually walk or have the light change throughout the time of day to match our circadian rhythm, to energize us, to also calm us down, and like the nighttime modes to keep us, soft and calm, to not be so stark.
So our ability to create everything from a 1400 Kelvin in that warm firelight all the way up to a 10,000 Kelvin in that moonlight gives us the ability to mimic the curves of the sun and mimic that natural light, and gives us the availability to create all different types of lighting depending on how you're utilizing the space. Maybe you're grabbing a cup of coffee in the morning, Or maybe you do need to energize after having a big lunch at home and you just need to get back into that work mode. And all of that is a culmination of us taking a science experiment of shining a flashlight through a prism. And on the other side, you see the full spectrum of the rainbow. 16.7 million different colors, all captured in that prism and shone back through, creating that white light. The quality white light that you want to see in a space to be able to create that materiality that you want. You might want to accentuate some parts of your home, like flowers, for example. Sometimes you want to make the colors on that flower pop. And I'm going to go back to the high CRI, and now back to our vibrancy. And that
the colors totally change.
Yeah, gives us the availability to make things pop, whether that's flowers, whether that's the food that you're eating on your plate, or what I find really important in a home, it's the materiality that you choose. It's the wood finish that you've chosen at the showroom. It's not always going to be the same wood finish that gets installed in your space, and that's purely based on the lighting that's in that showroom. And with Ketra, you can also paint with light. And so if you want to turn your space blue because the Leafs have won a game, it could happen.
Win a second series in the
yeah,
playoffs.
Right. Or if you're celebrating the Barbie movie, you can paint your space pink. And when I say paint, you can see with our lighting, the white that was on those cabinets is actually now a shade of mauve. You're actually painting the space. With painting the space in color is a byproduct of us wanting to create that beautiful white light. And so all of that technology that goes into our light sources, regardless if you're painting the space pink or if you're using white light, means that there's no scalloping. It means that there's no color breakup. And I'm gonna let the natural light come back in. I'm gonna bring us back into the outside world and bring all of my shades up. And as I do this, that lighting that was in here that felt a little bit bright, a little bit of that really stark white commercial lighting, now actually feels a little warm in comparison to what we have outside. And so what we can do is draw in all of that light and bring it in and really extend the outside into our space. And now our lighting almost recedes. It almost looks like it's part of the outdoors, and I've extended that outside in. This whole time we've been talking about controlling electric light and creating quality light in a space, and we can have that same conversation when it comes to shades and how we control all of that natural light coming into the space. And it's more than just an aesthetic conversation. Aesthetics are going to be important in any home, in any space that you're occupying, but what's really important is talking about how these shades actually control light coming into a space. And so here I have a lighter fabric and a darker fabric. And oftentimes from a design perspective, a lot of people will go towards a white fabric because it creates an airy feeling in the space. But sometimes that isn't the right fabric for the space. And the reason for that is if you look through it, I have a beautiful view here, and these are the two exact same fabrics. They're my E-screens. And one is in oyster and one is in charcoal, and they have the same openness factors. So at the very bottom, you'll see a 1%. The second one is a 3%. The third one is a 5%, and the very top is a 10%. And if you're looking through the 3% that's at eye level and you're seeing through the black, you can see all the way through to the island on the other side. You can almost see that the colors, though less vibrant this week than they were last week, you can almost see that you can see the greens and you can see the yellows. Whereas on the white side, you can see the shadow line. And so if you have a spectacular view that you need to preserve, you might want to go with a darker fabric. Or if you're living in a condo and you want to preserve some privacy, you might want to go with a lighter fabric. And then we have some fabrics that do a little bit of both, where you have a darker fabric in the front and a lighter fabric that's woven into the fabric behind it to give you that view preservation as well as the privacy. And then we can go full blackout.
Do you find that using black fabric also, especially in condos, we've got these amazing views at night, when it's dark outside, having a dark material also just makes it look like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't give you that stark white, bright white in the evening compared to your windows.
And
It kind of disappears.
yeah, it's interesting you say that because a lot of the times people think black, and this is the case for a lot of other materials. So if you go with a darker paint, it's going to make the space look smaller. Whereas with shades, because they kind of recede into the background, it does the exact opposite. With darker shades, often it'll make the space look bigger because you're seeing through it more, right? So you're almost extending the outside into the space. And you're absolutely right. That does have the opposite effect of what you would expect a darker fabric to have.
Thanks for hosting us. I can't wait to bring future clients.
Thanks for coming.
Architects, designers, and builders that we work with. This is an excellent space.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm excited for it.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.